Hello everyone, welcome back to our third episode of the series AI Automation in Service Industries. I'm Stefan and I'm your host for this series, and in this video we'll go through how can AI be applied for client communication and case management for lawyer firms. So here we'll go through how AI is revolutionizing client communication and case management for service industries, specifically for law firms and professional service providers. So this resource document I'm using here, I've created this myself and it will be available in the description below. So it will both be a kind of guide for this video and a standalone resource that you can use at your own discretion. So how does AI actually help out with client communication in general? So the first part may be specifically connected to chatbots and virtual assistants. So particularly with AI chatbots, it can help a lot with improved response times. So law firms are, for instance, using this to a large degree to provide real-time responses to client queries. So for instance, it may be important for lawyers to have direct personal communication during their work hours. What about outside their work hours? Like, shouldn't it be possible still for them to get answers, at least to some basic questions or some things that they wonder about, just getting some kind of idea of what to do in times of need, if the worst comes to shove, that they have at least some kind of answer, some way of communication that they can get some responses there. So these chatbots can help out with that. Providing 24/7 availability, at least for basic inquiries. Some advanced, also depends on how advanced you're setting up the chatbot to be. There are a lot of potential for that in the technology we have now. Like, what chatbots have kind of gotten a bad name over the years, because previously, before generative AI and ChatGPT came in, it was a really basic chatbot with some basic kind of logic of, okay, if you ask about this, then answer this, and so on. Just basic answers and questions. And in most cases, it didn't have answers to what you were actually wondering about. But here, it's much more advanced and much more potential here. So that's what is pretty interesting about AI chatbots with the technology we have today, and how flexible they are compared to based on how you actually want to, how personalized you want the communication to be. It can also help out with personalized client experience. So AI-generated insights can help lawyers, for instance, understand clients on a more granular level, tailor communication and services to individual preferences. This client-centric approach significantly can enhance lawyer-client relationships. Like yesterday, I talked to a provider which actually has a service which allows you to kind of analyze someone's LinkedIn page, understand their communication pattern, how to communicate with them well. This service is called Crystal Nose, and it's just so much potential for helping you figure out how to more appropriately communicate based on different people when you have this technology available. So real powerful stuff here. So for client engagement as well, AI tools can help automate some routine communication, like appointment scheduling, reminders, and this can free up time for staff to focus on more strategic tasks. So this is something that may seem small in the short term, but when it happens again and again and takes some time maybe, then it can quickly accumulate to a lot of time eventually that could be spent on doing other things that could create more value for themselves and the business and the clients. We also have some other AI-enhanced client communication tools. We've talked a little bit about the personalized communication, but that is an essential part of it, analyzing client data, tailoring communication style, content, and resonating with their preferences and needs. And it also, like for international or for global firms, multilingual support can also be relevant to have in the case where the client or may prefer another language, or it's more convenient generally to communicate in their mother tongue. Also, some predictive response suggestions can also be a really interesting, at least potential application, where AI tools can offer lawyers context-aware response suggestions during client interactions and basically improve some communication efficiency and consistency here. So one example is Linklaters. So this is a global law firm which launched an upgraded version of their own in-house generative AI chatbot called Lila in November 2023, with 2,500 active users and over 2,600 queries daily, supporting multiple languages, can process longer documents as well. So, we don't have specific metrics publicly available, but leadership knows that when used efficiently, this technology can boost efficiency and provide more time for strategic thinking. So, it has a lot of application in general, and when this is especially for such a big global law firm like Linklaters, this has a lot of potential for making sure that potential customers or existing customers don't fall through the crack when it comes to trying to communicate and get answers to their questions, maybe in times of need even, when it's absolutely necessary for them to have some way of communicating and getting answers to their questions. So how about AI in case management? So here there are some interesting applications as well. AI-powered case tracking is one example. Automated task management, like a system can monitor case progress, automate task assignments, ensuring deadlines are met without manual oversights, includes setting reminders, prioritizing tasks, allocate resources based on case complexity and urgency, for instance. Also document handling. We mentioned some of this in our last episode. Be sure to check out that if you haven't already. So it can help out with organizing, tagging, retrieving case documents, improve access to critical information, and reduce administrative workloads. And advanced natural language processing also allows for quick extraction of key information from large volumes of legal documents, which can significantly increase or improve the process of legal research and other things as well. So also real-time case status updates may be more of a hypothetical example, but technically it could be possible in some cases, or maybe in the future, that AI-driven dashboards aim to provide updates on case progress, allowing lawyers and clients to stay informed about developments in a case. But in practice, the effectiveness of this may heavily depend on the digitalization level of court procedures in the relevant jurisdiction and the availability of data. So unless they have kind of systems in place for ensuring the updated data about the different or the status in court proceedings and cases, then it may be difficult to implement something like this in practice. But it's at least interesting to consider the possibility for this when the data and technology is available. Also, predictive analytics in case management can be interesting as well. For instance, with risk management, ensuring predictive analytics, for instance, can provide insights to potential case risks based on historical data, and basically allowing lawyers to make some informed decisions, like identify potential legal obstacles, assess the likelihood of settlements, estimating potential damages, and so on. Also forecasting the outcomes, analyzing past case outcomes to estimate the probability of success, and accordingly aid the strategic decision-making. So this may consider factors like judge tendencies, opposing counsel track records, and jurisdiction-specific patterns. Also, the resource allocation optimization can analyze case complexity, timeline, and resource requirements to suggest optimal staffing and budget allocation, improving overall firm efficiency. For the third part, we have it for legal research and analysis. We mentioned this more in detail in last episode, so we won't go too much into depth here, but basically can sift through a lot of legal databases, identify relevant cases, statutes, legal precedents, and so on in a very short amount of time compared to what it will take for a human to identify all of this stuff. Also, the sentiment analysis can be quite powerful, analyzing the language, tone of legal documents, and gauging the sentiments of judges, opposing counsel, or witnesses in previous similar cases. Some practical tips for implementation here may be to start with limited scope. As we mentioned in the last video, implementing AI for specific functions like client communication or document tracking before expanding the use across the entire case management system may allow it for easier adoption and troubleshooting here and reduce the likelihood of failure for a project like this. Also, team training, of course, training staff to effectively use these AI tools, emphasize how automation can support their roles and improve workflow efficiency, and having some regular workshops and hand-on sessions to overcome resistance to new technologies. Also important is the continuous evaluation and improvement, so regularly assess the performance of AI tools in the case management system, gathering feedback from users and clients to identify areas for improvement and stay updated with the latest AI advancements in legal tech. Also, of course, important to consider is the data security and ethics, having proper data security measures and adhering to ethical guidelines when using AI in case management, ensuring compliance with data protection regulation, and maintain transparency with clients about AI usage. And as we mentioned yesterday in the global report, we referred to data security as one of, is the most important factor when it comes to legal firms choosing which AI tools to use for their businesses. So how about some of the benefits here? Well, we won't go through all the details here, but some natural benefits may be time saving, enhanced client satisfaction if you set it up in the right way, cost efficiency, improved communication, data-driven negotiation strategies, real-time analysis and adaptation, enhanced decision making. So how have AI developed recently when it comes to enhanced client communication? So here we'll mention some of the recent developments here. For instance, AI as a communication co-pilot. So AI chatbots and virtual assistant can be useful and helpful in client communication, but it's important also to emphasize that they support rather than replace human interactions. And a lot of lawyers and companies in general have understood that they may be using AI to augment their communication skills, and it's not supposed to substitute them entirely for this. Also, the personalized prompt engineering. So, of course, the effectiveness of AI depends on well-crafted prompts. So here, it may be important to focus on creating prompts that specify the communication context, client background, desired outcomes to generate more relevant, personalized responses. For the natural language processing, here is very interesting to see the developments here, because how much the NLP has improved with ChatGPT and so on, the ability to understand, respond to client inquiries with greater accuracy and context awareness leads to more natural and effective client interactions. But still, of course, it's important to consider the ethical considerations here. AI, of course, lacks the emotional intelligence and ethical judgment, so it's important to maintain oversights on these interactions and ensure that sensitive or complex matters are appropriately escalated to human staff. So more into some of the challenges and consideration. We already mentioned some of the data security parts, but also privacy concerns. Of course, if there are highly sensitive data, there needs to be placed a very high standard for the data management, the security measures to ensure confidentiality and compliance with the legal standards. It's also important with encryption, secure cloud storage, strict access controls to protect client information, and so on. Also relevant is implementing security audits, staff training on data protection protocols, and so on. Also relevant is to have a good balance between automation and human interactions, making sure that while AI enhances efficiency on one side, it's important to maintain the human aspect of the client interaction as well. So making a strategic decision and move with how to integrate AI tools to handle routine tasks and free up lawyers to focus on the high-value relationship building activities, which is important when communicating to clients during these interactions, and provide proper escalation paths. Another thing, addressing AI accuracy and hallucination issues. So here it's important to consider the risk of AI output sometimes being inaccurate or fabricated, which can pose some important risks in these legal contexts. So to mitigate these, there are some approaches that can be taken here. For instance, using kind of specialized chatbots or specialized tools like Co-Counsel is one example by Thomson Reuters, for instance, that ground response in verified documents. Employing dedicated teams to monitor and validate AI output quality maybe one alternative if you have the resources for it. And using AI models specifically trained on legal datasets to improve quality. Also, of course, having clear guidelines is also important to know when and how to verify this information. Also, for the ethical consideration, making sure that you navigate these complex ethical issues in the right way, ensure fairness, avoid bias, maintain transparency, and adhere to professional responsibility standards when using these technologies. So what are some of the future trends and innovation in AI for the legal sector? So of course, business growth through AI adoption. So we're foreseeing that AI will play an important part for how lawyer firms and other businesses in general will be a catalyst for business growth in the future, enhancing client satisfaction with personalized experience, efficient service delivery, and being more likely to receive referrals and repeated business. Also, for predictive analytics, when advanced AI models become more prevalent, it will provide more accurate predictions of case outcomes and helping lawyers make informed decisions and set realistic client expectations, which is, of course, really important when communicating with their clients. Also, for AI-powered virtual legal assistants, so this can help handle complex legal research tasks, draft documents, provide preliminary legal advice, and accordingly enhance efficiency there. With ethical AI frameworks, it can also help gain an understanding of how to navigate the ethical challenges here, making sure they maintain trust and integrity in the professions. So as this innovation continue to emerge, law firms that stay at the forefront of AI adoption will be best positioned to provide superior client services and maintain a competitive edge in the evolving legal landscape. So how do you prepare for the AI-driven future of law? First of all, continuous learning and adaptation, collaborative AI developments, client education, and an interdisciplinary approach where you foster collaboration between legal professionals, data scientists, and ethicists to ensure a well-rounded approach to AI. So by using these strategies, law firms can position themselves as leaders in the AI-driven transformation of legal services, offering unparalleled value to clients while navigating the complexities of an evolving technological landscape. So what is the conclusion for this video? AI-enhanced client communication and case management can definitely provide a significant benefit to legal professionals, including improved efficiency, better client engagement, cost reductions. But law firms must also strike the right balance between automation and human connection while ensuring data privacy and proper staff training. Thank you all for having joined us for this episode. In the next episode, we'll finalize this part of lawyer firms with third episode. Also for lawyer firms in this next episode of our playlist AI Automation in Service Industries. Be sure to stay tuned for that. You can see the link to the resource document in the description below, and click here to subscribe to the channel, The Hypomanic Entrepreneurs, for more videos like this. If you want us to take a review of your business and identify concrete use cases for where AI and automation can help you create more value in your business, leading to more sales, more cost efficiency, and generally growing your business in general, be sure to get in touch with us either on LinkedIn or reaching out to us through our contact schema on our website, and we can help you out with our risk-free workshop and see how you can utilize these technologies in the best possible way. So again, thank you all for joining us for today. I'm Stefan, and I'm looking forward to see you all in the next episode.